and welcome to another video. My name is Melanie Josephine and today we are talking about the absolute worst dating advice that you've ever heard of. So before I start and tell you what I think is the worst dating advice ever, I want you to stop the video and now comment down below what you think is the worst dating advice that you've ever received. I'm really curious. Please let me know in the comments below. So here we are. So in my opinion, and I have heard this dating advice many times, not even related to me, even in other YouTube videos or friends saying it to other friends. And this is a piece of advice that is in itself not so bad. However, if it just stands alone, it basically means nothing, leads to nowhere and helps no one. That's my opinion. Now maybe a little disclaimer, obviously you don't have to be the same opinion as me, but I'm actually really looking forward to sharing today what I think is the absolute worst dating advice. So here it is. I think the worst dating advice is when people say to other people who are dating and who are looking to find the partner of their life, when they are saying, you just have to wait. Seriously? Seriously? You just have to wait? You just have to sit and wait and sit around and do nothing? Don't leave your house? Don't do anything? Oh, that is just such BS. I'm sorry, but it is just, I mean, do you really believe that? I think very often people that say that don't even mean that in itself, but they just miss to add to that. So that's what I want to do in this video. So I told you what I think is the worst advice, but I think if you take that piece of advice and you add to that, it is not the worst dating advice at all. So that's what I want to do now. So my advice, while you are waiting for the perfect partner or your life partner to come around, is one, to think about your previous relationships. What have you learned? What kind of partner are you looking for now? Do you see a pattern in your previous relationships? So I guess it depends. Maybe you've had relationships before, maybe you haven't. If you haven't, then this doesn't really apply to you. However, yeah, if you've had relationships before that haven't worked out, this is the absolute best time to reflect, to sit down and journal about your past relationships, or to just think about them. What have you learned? What are you looking for in a partner now? What are your no-goes? What are you not going to tolerate in the future? And just think about that. And then think about the qualities, the characteristics that you're looking for in your partner. And when you do that, you'll have a much clearer idea of who you want. Now, you may think, well, I kind of know who I want. Well, I'm telling you, kind of isn't going to cut it. If you really want to have a fulfilling, healthy and happy relationship, it is not enough to kind of know what you want. It is important that you know in detail what exactly you want. And why is that? It is because, I've said this in a previous video, I don't know if you've seen that before. It is because if you don't know where you're going, you might not like where you end up. And this may have happened with previous relationships. You may have ended up with somebody that you didn't like so much in the end because you didn't know 100% what you were looking for in the very first place. Maybe now you think, oh, Melanie, no, you're wrong, that's not true. But please, I urge you, think about it. Did you know 100% in detail what you want before you enter those relationships? And if you did not, I urge you now, make that list. Think really, really carefully what you want, what is important to you. Obviously, certain things must be more important than others. So what are the 3 most important things? And then think about the other things. But make sure you're very clear, because that is the first step towards finding it. Or him or her, obviously. Also, if you think about your pattern of relationships, what does that pattern tell you? Yeah, I'm not going to go too detailed into this in this video. Then the other thing, while you're waiting, are you happy with every single department in your life? Are you happy with your career? Are you happy with your friendships? Are you happy with your hobbies? While you are waiting, you can make positive changes in the other areas of life, and that way your vibration raises, and that way you are going to attract somebody with the same high vibration into your life. So what does that mean? So if you are in a job, in a career that you hate or dislike, now's a good time to think about, what do I really want? How can I make changes? This doesn't mean you have to quit your job immediately or anything like that, but how can you make changes that lead me to where I want to be? And that being said, I want to say that very, very often, and me included in the past, we make the mistake that we think that we want one thing. So we're here and what we want is over there. And we think, oh man, that is unachievable. How can I do this? It's just too much. And you don't think that what you need to do is that you need to go from A to B to C to D and so on, and not from A to Z. So this is the mistake that we make. And so while you are waiting, you can go from A to B to C, etc. in your career, or if you haven't got any hobbies but you wanted to pick some up, you can work on that. If you feel you don't have any friends or you don't have friends that uplift you, you can go out and find new friends. Then again, think about, what are you looking for in a friend? What type of person are you looking for? You can make a lot of changes within you and around you while you are waiting. But I just want to encourage you, work on yourself while you are alone. You're not, by the way, alone. I'm sure you have friends, you have family, you have people around you, so you're not alone. But while you are single, make sure that you set up a life that you can then welcome your partner in it. That when your partner comes along, that you have all these amazing things you can share with them, that you can share your hobbies with them, that you can share your excitement for your career with them, and that you do not need him to carry you in terms of happiness, that you do not need him to push you in every area of your life, because you have already pushed yourself in those areas of your life, so that when he comes around, you are this amazing, happy person that when he is there, he is like a bonus. That you are so happy that he's there, but he's not the full piece of cake. I hope this doesn't sound too weird, but I guess you know what I'm saying. Because this is exactly what puts pressure on relationships. This is exactly what puts pressure on men, women when they go on dates, is when the other person expects you to carry them, and that is not their job. Your partner is to a degree there to make you happy, but it is not his job to make you happy, because that is your job. And that is your job even before he arrives in your life. So if he hasn't arrived in your life, and it may be that you're not there, and you might not want to hear this, and to be honest, when I was single I just hated people saying that. However, the universe's timing is divine, and there may be a reason why he or she is not there yet. And so while you wait, I really urge you to look at yourself, to look at your patterns, to look at what you want to improve in your life while he or she hasn't arrived yet. And that way you will also be a much more relaxed person when he comes around, because he doesn't need to carry the weight of your happiness. And that way it'll be much easier to attract somebody and to keep somebody. Because if you are unhappy with other parts of your life and you put that onto your new partner, it can push them away. I'm not saying that in a relationship you shouldn't support each other through negative or bad times. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying in the very early stages of a relationship, if this person feels that you need them because everything else in your life is going wrong, that is an energetic message that this person feels, and that can push them away. And I also want to talk a little bit about how proactive you should be. Actually, I do not want to tell you how proactive you should be, because it's your choice. However, I think it's important to have a good balance between being proactive and at the same time not being too pushy. Because if you start thinking about your potential partner, your future partner all the time, if you think about when am I going to meet him, how am I going to meet him, oh my gosh, I'm going to set up 10 dates through this dating app, how am I going to schedule everybody? You're making this too hard on yourself, you're making this too technical, you are spreading your attention between all these different dates if you do that. So I do not suggest you doing that. What I do suggest you do is that you have your mind, your thoughts, your heart, your eyes, your ears, you have it open to the people that are around you. And whether you want to be on a dating app or not, that's your choice. And feel free to go on some dates, but I would not overschedule yourself. And I would really listen to your heart when you think about, do I want to go out with this person? Does this person sound like someone that I can see myself with? Because if you set up a lot of dates and they lead nowhere, you're just going to feel discouraged. Yeah, so that is actually all I wanted to say today. I hope I got my point across. I'm really looking forward to your comments. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And if you want to see more videos like that, please subscribe. Subscribing is completely free. And I'm looking forward to see you in my next video. Bye! Hi again! One more thing to add. If you want to have an amazing love life and you want to transform your love life, I have written this amazing book, Love Life Simplified. It goes through so many things that are related to love life. I wrote it because I've struggled in my love life in the past, and I want to share my experiences, other people's experiences, and what I've learned. All my research went into this book. And if you are struggling, or even if you're not struggling but you don't know how to have an amazing love life, this is the book for you. And then I would also like to mention my other book, Rock Your Au Pair Year. If you want to be an au pair, or you know anybody who wants to be an au pair, this is your guide and it will definitely help you to have an amazing au pair time. Okay, that's all I want to say. Bye!